Hey YouTubers, I'm back with another review video. This time it's the Tower 55 ES44DC in the BNSF Heritage 3 scheme. This is locomotive number 7665. Let's get started. If you guys know about Tower 55, you know that it's the plastic line of Overland models. Unfortunately, they stopped making them, which technically sucks because I found this at Nicholas Smith as a second-hand unit, and it was a really I can't even tell you the price because the price was just amazingly low for this engine. It came out of a private collection, but it looks just like it came out of the factory, brand spanking new. It wasn't abused or anything, but I wish they were still making these. You can still find them. Don't get me wrong, you can still find them. It's just that it's hard to find them. I mean, they're common on eBay from what I've seen, but the prices are outrageous, and I'm not paying that kind of money for. Don't get me wrong, it's worth the money, but I think people overcharge on eBay too much. But moving on from the eBay, the Tower 55 features many details from Overland models in their plastic line. I mean, it's basically their plastic line, their brass line. I mean, the details, if you were to put this next to a brass engine, you probably would have a difficulty telling which is which unless you looked at them closer. But anyway, the locomotive comes with plow, MU cables on the front, and it's got the coupler lift bars, which are metal. I put the long shank scale coupler on the front here. That's a Katie Whisker coupler. It came with one already, but the spring in there was busted. The railings here the railings are metal, except this part here is plastic. Ditch light housings are plastic also. It's actually one piece. The BNSF logo is extremely legible. It's got metal grab irons. It's got windshield wipers. I think they're metal etched. Number boards. You got your, I think this is your GPS dome, and your other little dome here. I forget what that is, but you have that. Let's go to the roof. You have your little warning markers here, and if you had a magnifying glass you could see that probably clearly. You have your 5-chime horn here. Your exhaust stack is exquisitely detailed. It looks just like the real thing. Your rear radiator details are good. These aren't see-through. You could probably get an aftermarket kit to make that see-through, but I like it the way it is. Let's go to the rear of the unit. There's the BNSF logo again. See if I can get that clearer for you guys. It says Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad. Now, I got a question, and I've noticed this. My question is, why did they put the back lights that far down on the rear of the unit? That's what my question is. I never understood why they're so low on the ES44 DC and AC units. Why do they have them like that on the BNSF units? And I think UP has it like that. But if you look up here, it looks like you could put the light here or put the light here if you wanted to. I don't know why they did that. Just a curiosity question right there. But anyway, going back to the details, this is plastic here. You got your MU details, you got your brake line details, you got your another scale coupler here. That one is the original one. So these are metal, that's plastic. Metal grab irons on the side and in the back. The railing here is metal. These stanchions are plastic, and they're just popping to the body, which is alright. As long as this is metal, I don't really mind. As long as this is metal, I don't mind. But if the whole thing is plastic, then I have a problem. But that's what they did. They made it all metal on both sides. Details, great details on this engine. Let's look at the undercarriage. You got detailed trucks. And you actually got lettering right here. You can't really see it, but you actually have lettering on the trucks here. Your lettering here is legible. You see ES44DC, your GEs and GE stuff. All your little warning labels are legible. body shell labels. Fuel tanks, the details, it's one big piece, but with some weathering, it can make it look even better. It's not like the Intermountain ones. I've never personally seen them up close or in reality, but I like the details on it, even though if it's a one cast piece fuel tank instead of separately applied air tanks on here. Let's go to the underside of the locomotive. Now, it features the famous tank drive. So those are each your individual gearboxes, driven by a central drive shaft, which is really nice, and it offers amazing pulling power. I mean, this engine is not light. This is a very heavy locomotive. If I had a weight here, I'd be able to tell you exactly how many pounds this was, or how many grams it was, or kilograms, or but I don't have that. Fuel tank is set up for one speaker, which you could do, but people usually just put them inside the body shell. Like some people, what's his name? NS24 Modeler. He usually puts the speakers inside his locomotives, unless he does it another way. But usually he puts the speakers inside, and he wires them in series so that both of them sound at the same time. So yeah, that's what he usually does. Yeah, people, when they usually get these engines, they actually paint them into another railroad's paint scheme. And this is actually my first BNSF Heritage 3 unit and my first ES44DC. Now, I would have to say this: if you can get your hands on one of these, please snatch it up, because I don't even recall ever seeing one in a store, and it was by the grace of God that I was in the store that day at Nicholas Smith, at the right place at the right time. Because I picked this unit up 3 or 4 times, and then when I started looking at it, everybody else started looking at it, and I said, you know what, I better snatch this up, because if I don't do it, somebody else is gonna buy it. Because I was debating, should I get it? I mean, I was looking for it. I said, this is a nice engine. I mean, Tower 55s are expensive. I mean, way under what it, and this is a DC model. This is not DCC. This is straight DC. And I said, you know, I'd be a fool not to get this engine. So I snatched it up, and I picked this engine up at the same day I got that engine. And by the way, Tower 55 has a slightly faster gearing than the SD70 ACE from MTH, but they work pretty good together. Once the speeds are, pretty evened out, it works pretty good with Kato too. I would highly recommend getting them if you can find them. I wish Overland models didn't stop making them so I could actually snatch a few more of these. But when I was looking at them, they were just so expensive. Like, not even kidding. Even the DC models were pretty expensive. But, I'm glad I was able to get this one. And I like Burlington Northern Santa Fe. This is actually my third BNSF unit. I have a SD75i, and I have a Jeep 9M in the Heritage 1 scheme. And I did have I have a B unit at one time? No, I didn't have a B unit. But I highly recommend getting yourself a Tower 55 model. Let me go ahead and do the now the thing is, these engines draw, like, they don't draw, they draw about the same power as a DC model, as a regular DC model, but the thing is, you have to really crank up the throttle to get the lights to come on. And they're LEDs, but you have to really crank up the throttle to get the lights on. But they are there. And it's a quiet, I mean, it's pretty quiet, but that's just the tank drive you're hearing. Now this engine wasn't a private collection, so whoever had it, they already broken the engine in, so it doesn't need that. And they really, I gotta give them mad props, because they really took care of this engine. They really did. A lot of times when I see stuff, people don't really take care of it, and then they try to sell it, and they want an arm and a leg for it, and it's not worth that anymore, because you know, stuff is broken on it, stuff like that. But this engine was exquisitely taken care of. I highly recommend getting one if you find one. If you have to resort to buying one on eBay, please do your research and just don't go ahead and just buy one to just have it, because you got to really do your research, because a lot of people try to rip people off on eBay. Now, I personally know that from my personal experience, because that happened to me once. But I usually buy my stuff with money order anyway, and if they don't accept money order, I don't buy it. So yeah, but just be careful with eBay, and where you buy stuff from, because sometimes people ask a lot for something. And don't get me wrong, there are times the prices are legitimately right, but on some things there's just people that ask too high prices for stuff. But when you know the quality is there, you know you're gonna pay top dollar for it, and you know you're gonna get what you pay for. And this is one of the engines that you find it in good shape, you're gonna pay I wouldn't say a good bit of money, but it's not gonna be no $60 engine, that's for sure. It's not 60 bucks. So you're gonna get quality, and trust me, you're gonna be very happy to get this on your layup on some intermodal trains or some tanker trains or some general merchandise freights. And it'll look good with your war bonnets too, if you have any. So if you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll be happy to answer them. God bless everybody, and thanks.